Did I press the button? I don't think I did. Here we go. Hello, and welcome back to For Book's Sake. I am Heather Roberts.
I am Veronica Adams, and we are 1852 Media.
In my defense,
She's starting out with a defense already.
It is not like an actual button, okay? It is a longer thing, and if you click the wrong, there's like a little X on it, and if you accidentally click the X, it takes it completely, like it removes the sound. I don't want to remove the sound, but if I press too high, it starts in the middle of the sound.
Yes.
So there's like a sweet spot of where I have to click in order to get that sound to play. There's not like a play button, friends. So every time I have to like try to hit the button, try to hit the spot. And obviously I fail frequently. I'm
going to start manifesting a production team for this exercise.
Yeah, right? It is just us. It is just us and our
two
software.
2 women, 2 computers, 2 microphones, 1 software. Like
that's it. Yeah, 1 software. Oh, yeah. And that's what you get. That's what you get. Our low budget production here.
For now.
For now. But speaking of budgeting, that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. So this came up because it's something that we are currently doing. Right now, I am looking at all of it is tax time after all. I am looking at all of our internal expenses and saying, do we need that? Do we still use that?
Does this add the value to our business that it did when we first started implementing it or employing it?
Yeah. Right. And something that we just did, we just canceled. I will name names today. We just canceled MailChimp. And frankly, I think I deserve a round of applause for that. Now, a lot of you might be saying, Heather, what took you so long? Okay, so the reason that we just canceled MailChimp is because it is so expensive. It's so expensive, guys. And I think we've talked about this before and how I've said, like, but I don't want to because all my stuff is in there and it's going to be such a pain in the ass.
I know how to use it.
Yeah. True story. Also true. But there are competitors out there that are charging fractions of the cost of what MailChimp charges and all of the same functionality. Yep. And I'm sitting here wondering to myself, why are you doing this, Heather? Why are you spending hundreds of dollars a month when you could be spending, $40 a month and get the exact same functionality and frankly, prettier templates at times? And honestly, better deliverability. We just moved everything over we chose Flowdesk. I will be transparent here. This is what we chose. We chose Flowdesk.
This is not a sponsored episode, by the way, y'all.
Not sponsored. And if Flowdesk sucks, eventually I will come out and tell you that too. Not sponsored. So far, so good. I'm enjoying Flowdesk. We transferred all of our audiences in. I really like the folder feature in Flowdesk. One of the things in MailChimp that really we struggled with, oftentimes we'll go, because we're a promotions and marketing firm, we will send a similar style of email, just with different content. And a lot of times we'll go back and we'll try to duplicate like a prior email and just like replace all the information, right? A template, if you will. Well, sometimes, unless you made a specific template and saved it in MailChimp, it was harder to do that. So you had to go to a past one and duplicate. Anyway, in Flowdesk, they have folders. So if I want to go in and duplicate something, I can just click on the folder and, oh my God, there are all that type of emails. And I can just quickly duplicate something and replace all the content. It's nicer in that way so far. And so far, they've delivered a lot better than MailChimp.
That's what's incredible is the analytics.
Yeah.
The actual performance of the newsletters is so far so good.
I mean, we're on day 1, friends, of actual using Flowdesk. So I can't like sing their praises too hard.
Yes. Consistent performance remains to be seen, but
Yes.
the honeymoon period is going great.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm enjoying the price tag that comes along with this honeymoon
Yes,
period.
absolutely.
So, and there's also some really cool functionality with Flowdesk. It can link to your Shopify account, and you can sell, you can also link it to your Stripe account, and you can sell directly from the newsletter. So people can check out within Flowdesk
You
instead
can put
of
the product in
being,
the newsletter, they click buy, and it immediately takes them to a shopping cart where they
yeah.
can check out because the product has been added.
Correct. As opposed to all of the other newsletters, MailChimp included, it takes you to the website. You then have
Yes.
to go through the
Yes.
checkout process. So this
And
literally, it skips a step. It makes it a lot less clicking, right? For sales. And we all know that for sales, cutting out those
the more
middlemen.
people have to click, the harder it is to
Yep.
convert them to a purchasing customer.
Correct. So we want the fewest clicks as possible to the purchase, and this provides that functionality, which I haven't explored yet, but I'm excited to try. Um, but yeah, so far so good. That was a big thing that we have been working on for a couple weeks now, because you can't just like decide what, you have to decide, and then there's a transfer period of moving everything over, redesigning templates. That's why I didn't want to do it. But I'm glad that I did. Now that I'm on this side of it, I am glad that we did that. And of course, because now we did that, I have decided, well, let's look at our website and let's move that too.
Heather doesn't just spring clean one room. Heather spring cleans all the rooms, okay?
Yeah.
Like when we're going
It's
to change up one thing, let's just look at changing all the things. I'm already in this mindset. I've
yeah,
got the bandwidth to do it. Let's just get it done.
let's
See
just
see
change
where else
things.
we can improve.
Right. And also because sometimes you get so stuck in technology that you're using that you don't realize that new technology has come out that fits your model a lot better.
Right.
And it's easy to just ignore it and say, I'm just going to use what I'm using because it's working, and it's going to be a lot of work to change it over. But then you're not really moving forward, are you? You're not really progressing. So, one thing I can tell you why I hate Wix. I actually love Wix, but I also hate them. Wix is great. This is what we use for our website. Wix is great for a lot of people's websites. Not a bad platform, easy dragging and dropping. If you are just looking to build out a website that has simple functionality that you're going to be able to update yourself, highly recommend Wix for that. Um, Super simple interface. Everything sort of makes sense. However, when you're trying to sell things on Wix, it is not an e-commerce platform. It tries to be. It really tries really hard to be an e-commerce platform.
It seems to me like it's better suited to people who are in service related businesses,
Yeah, like booking services.
right, like where you need
Yeah.
a calendar. I think of like salons and
Yep.
handy people, repair people, stuff
Massage
like that.
therapists.
Right, where you have to book a specific time for them to come do something for you at
Yes.
your location or meet them at their location for whatever it is they offer.
Yes.
And
Or if you are only selling products, if you are selling
right, inventory.
physical widgets,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you have actual inventory that you are
Or print on
selling,
demand or something. Yeah.
yeah, simple for that. Really easy setup for that. However, if you're like us and you sell services
Virtually.
that are virtual services,
Yes.
Wix does not have a carve out for that.
Yeah. No product inventory, no location, no calendar set up for you to get whatever it is you need from us. Like it's just not
Yeah.
how we work. So
They have either you can set up a service, but then at the end of that process, there has to be some type of a booking. So there has to be a
yes.
calendar scheduling event, which is not what we do. That's on our
Yeah.
services. Some of our services have calendars, scheduling
Oh, for
events,
sure. For sure.
but not all of them.
Right.
So then, and you can't split it, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you couldn't say I want calendar scheduling for some and
Yeah.
not for others. And then if you move into like the products category, they have two types. They have digital products and they have physical products. And you're thinking, oh, Heather, why don't you just make all of your services digital products? That sounds great, friends, except Wix requires that if you set it up as a digital product, that you actually send a digital file to the
Right.
resulting user, to
You
the
have to deliver
purchaser.
some kind of digital content to the purchaser in order for it
Correct.
to work in the Wix e-commerce situation and
Yes.
setup.
And
Yeah.
so that was not functional for us.
I mean, we could have sent like, I don't know, our business cards or something to
I
people,
know.
you know.
Every time, every time. I felt like that would be annoying.
I know, right?
So,
Especially for
so
like our repeat customer, like our repeat clients who like to do like
right.
a la carte work with us. They just want one or two things at a time instead of a full
Yeah,
contract of services. I would hate to just be inundating those poor people with a business card or anything else for that matter
every
every
time.
time they order, whatever, formatting a
Yeah.
newsletter,
In
graphic.
addition to the receipt that they received.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So
Unnecessary.
obnoxious.
So, the only other option was to make it a physical product with free shipping, which is fine. So now anybody can go on and purchase a product from us on our current website. That's how we got around it. However, that also means that we can't sell physical products on our website because we have it set to have free shipping. And if an international person came onto our website and wanted to purchase a tote bag, unfortunately, I cannot provide free shipping realistically to that
Yeah.
person, and that would be my only option on Wix.
That would probably
So
ultimately cost you money.
yeah, it would 100%. So because we now are offering book boxes, we sell them on our TikTok shop for those that did not know, and we want to start offering them on our website. We need to move websites because we need to have functionality where we can sell services as well as physical products and have a system that allows us to differentiate between the two.
Yes.
So we are moving to Shopify. That is the long
Yay!
version of we are
Shopify is
moving to
all the
Shopify.
rage right now. Can I
It
tell you how
really
much time
is.
I have spent in Shopify this week? So much.
I spent
It
so
has,
much time in
it
Shopify
has been a
too.
week of Shopify.
Yeah. But I understand why people love Shopify.
For
Listen,
sure.
is Shopify simple? No. No, it is not. It can be.
Yeah.
If you have a very simple setup and structure, it can be very simple. Can it get complex in an instant? It is not drag and drop. So if you're looking for drag and drop, it is not that. You have to pick a template. They have things structured a little differently.
Right.
But interestingly, you can really make it once you figure it out, you can
Yes.
make your pages whatever you want
The
them to
sky is
be.
almost the limit, really,
Yeah.
when it comes to customizability in Shopify once you figure out all
Hmm.
of the little moving pieces involved in making things exactly the way you want them.
Yeah.
It is pretty incredible for that.
It's pretty wonderful. And although I loathe some of it, I really respect how they did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like there's some things I'm just like, why can't I just make this banner clickable? Why do I have to
Right.
go in and play with the code and all of that? That's just
Yeah.
silly. I still believe that, but you can go in and play with the code and make the banner clickable if you really want to, if that is
Mhm.
your desire, or you can hire us and we'll do it for you. I figured out
It may take us a team meeting where we screen share.
it's been done. It's been done. Between the three of us, we have
Yes.
figured things out.
Yes.
And I've done. It's just funny. I'm not a software coder, friends.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a elder millennial
Mhm.
who used to have a Zanga page. Okay, so I am familiar with HTML in that
I
regard.
have not heard the word Zanga in a solid decade. Okay.
So I had a client ask me like, how do you know how to do this? Like, did you
Oh,
just teach yourself? And I'm like, I've been teaching myself since I was 13.
for
Like,
sure. For sure. We are the original internet preteens and early teens. And, I think most of us in our age bracket know a little HTML at a minimum.
right. Or at least can recognize it when we see
Uh
it and say,
huh.
oh, okay, this is what that does.
Yeah.
And so I know that there's a piece of code out there that'll do what I want it to do. And it's just a matter of hunting it down
Mhm.
and finding it. And so that's, I'm fairly good at that. I'm fairly good at internet hunting down as
She is
well.
a sleuth, y'all.
So between that and following some directions, I can make things coded. But I'm not saying that I am a software coder. No
No.
way. No.
And if you want something really customized and complex, it may behoove you to hire someone with actual
Yes.
coding experience to help with that.
Correct.
So that is an option for Shopify. They will allow you to code your
Yes.
little heart away to make things do exactly what you want it to do.
But if you are also looking to be able to update it yourself in the future and not have to pay somebody else every time you want to update it, we can make small changes and then you can go in and update it
For
yourself.
sure.
So, but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm working right now to move our website. Our website's 8 years old. I mean, it has layers upon layers upon layers to it. It is not going to be an easy task to move the entire website over to a new platform. And I know that Shopify says, we'll move it for you. And like they sort of do, right? Like I exported my products and imported them to Shopify, and some of the information came up, but like none of the images came up. And like, so I'm like, okay, this is going to be an opportunity to just redesign. That's the way I'm positively looking at it.
They'll move it for you the way a shipping company, not a moving company, but a shipping company moves your
Yes.
house for you. You box it up, you put it in the storage bins. The storage bins are then transported to your location. You have to unpack it. And if they broke stuff, that's your problem, not theirs.
100%. That is a
It's
great
it's
analogy.
it's the digital version of that, right? So
Yeah.
they take your data, they move it over to their platform. Some of it fits perfectly, some of it fits but it's kind of crazy, and some of it doesn't fit at all, and you're the one who has to sort that out.
Yeah. But on a positive note, I mean, I'm looking at this like, okay, we have an opportunity to make something new, something
Hmm.
fresh,
Right,
to, really take this time to sort of reinvent our brand in a new way.
right.
So that's the way you have to look at this stuff. You can't
Yes.
just be like, oh, this is going to be terrible. But
Right. Well, that's the whole point of discussing it, is because
yeah,
you can get really complacent and comfortable with your brand and what you do day in and day out, especially with the infrastructure and your marketing game. And if you don't continue to stay on top of cost efficiency and also technological trends, you may end up losing out.
yeah. And
Business,
right.
innovations, things that will make your life easier. I mean, it's not just about saving money and making more money. Sometimes it's about making what you do more efficient and freeing up time
Right.
to do the other things.
And that's,
Writing.
I think, what is going to be one of the biggest things about this website is freeing up and making things more efficient. And that's really the goal here. That's what we want to do. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good move. And I think that that's something that, like Veronica said, you need to do with your own business. Look at your systems. What systems do you have in place? What still makes sense for you during this tax time as you're looking things up? What isn't working for you anymore?
That's
Where
the
have you
most
gotten
important thing.
complacent?
Yeah.
And that's conversations that we try to have with our clients, as they're going through their systems and everything. And we hope that we still make the cut at the end of it.
Right.
but
For sure.
but
But
it's true. Yeah. You want to make
and
sure.
and also realistically, like what can you handle with
Right.
everything else on your plate in terms of writing, editing, publishing, and then everything else you have to do in addition to that to have commercial success? Because you
Yeah.
can write, edit, publish, and never really have a business infrastructure, right? This can be a
Hmm.
creative activity that you monetize just by virtue of putting your writing out there, and then whatever happens, happens. You make $1, you make $100,000. Who
Right.
knows? But for people who are in it for a stream of income, what do you have the bandwidth to handle? What do you need to be delegating to technology? What do you need to be
Yeah.
making more efficient? What do you need to be making cheaper? what do you need to be spending more money on? Because that's
Hmm.
also a consideration here too.
Yeah.
Our company is now saving money having switched from MailChimp to Flowdesk. It doesn't seem like a huge chunk of money in the grand scheme of things, but that now frees up more capital and more revenue
Right.
to do other things.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like we might be able to, put out an ad for something using that money that otherwise would have been able to do that or pay down other debt
Right?
that,
Or
faster.
order
And
merchandise inventory for the
yes,
Shopify store for physical products that we're actually going to sell.
order upgraded swag for going
Hmm.
to a book event, maybe
Right?
paying for someone to go to a
Oh,
book event.
exactly. Paying the fees or
Yeah.
sponsoring one of the book events so that we can attend. Absolutely.
I mean, it's just you got to look at these things and say, okay, well, I took out this money. Where can I put,
Mhm.
where can I
Yep.
reinvest it?
Yep.
Or can I give myself a raise? That's an option
Exactly.
too.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think it's important to do an inventory of all of your items, especially right now. It is tax season after all. You've just done it, or you filed an
Or
extension and
you're
you are
still
going to
doing
be
it.
doing it. Yeah. Well, by the time this comes out, ours will be done, but I am in the thick of it right now. Um, it used to be back when I was a W 2 employee, I filed in January, the second that it opened. Now that I am a self employed individual, I file this last second that is
Give
required.
me all the time you can, please.
Exactly.
All of the time you can.
All of the time. So that is this weekend. Well, right now, this
Those
weekend.
automatic pandemic extensions were like the best thing that ever happened to
They
me.
truly were. They were a gift from the heavens above.
Oh, but could we get more of those, please? Hmm.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So it's all good. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's the big lesson right now. Don't be
for
afraid
sure.
to look at your infrastructure, no matter how long you've been
Right.
around, and say, is
You're
this
looking at
working? Is
numbers
this
right now
not?
anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does
And
this
really think
still
about these numbers.
as
Yeah.
you're, if you haven't already, as you're looking through your profit and loss information, putting those things together if you don't maintain them periodically, it really will benefit you in the long run to say, I need to cut this, I need to do more of
Mm-hmm.
that, I would like to address this, that's something that I'm interested in, whatever. The the path is uniquely yours, but don't just say, oh, I need to file my taxes and then be done with it.
Right. And understand that this is a business. So in the first couple years of your authoring business, look at your products that you put out. How many products did you put out? How many
Yep.
products do you now have? How much money did you make off of them?
Hmm.
What were your expenses? These are all things that should be in your profit and loss, right?
Yep.
And then you can start planning your 2025 and say, okay, well, in 2023, I did this. This is my projection for 2024. Let me think of 2025. You don't have to have the idea right now. You can just say, I want to hit 5 books or 6 books released that year.
Right.
I'm doing, 4 books this year. I want to do 6 books in 2025. And then you can backtrack it and say, what does my schedule need to look like
Yeah.
in order for me to get there?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's how you start building out your projections and start building
Mhm.
out your strategy to get there.
For sure. And it doesn't just have to
So,
be new releases either. It can be
yeah.
special editions of your backlist. If you have a series, whatever, that has sold relatively well, maybe you plan on bundling them up and making that part of your offerings in the future too. Collector's editions, discrete
Yeah.
cover box sets. There are so many
Sky's the
ways
limit.
to,
Yeah.
for sure. So many different ways to do that. And you
And
can build
what
that into the plan too.
and what are your priorities as an author? Because
Hmm.
for example, I have some clients who very much prioritize traveling for their career, and they want to ensure that they're picking places that they want to go to. Number one, like the rare events, for
Oh,
example,
for
the
sure.
international ones.
Hmm.
I have other clients who are like, no, I don't want to travel. That's not a priority for me. And so, okay, well, if you're not traveling, you could, do these things to try to bring in other,
Yeah.
potential readers to your brand.
Yep.
So it's a matter of prioritizing what is important to you and then figuring out how to accomplish that
Hmm.
within that time frame too,
Yeah.
because not everybody's the same, and that's sort of the beauty of this industry.
Yeah.
You don't have
For
to
sure.
be like, you don't have to do every little thing. You
Yes.
can pick and choose what you want to do.
Yes.
Some people only do local events. Some people do no events at all. Some
Mhm.
people want to do all the events, and some people only want to do international ones and maybe a couple local ones. Like,
Mhm.
you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But you need to start planning now, because if you want to go to some of this stuff, you have to get on the list. You have
For
to
sure.
request. You have to get on waiting lists.
Mhm.
So don't wait until the year of and say, "Oh, I want to go to this signing." Like,
Yeah, most of the time that's not going to work out. You
no.
need to be talking to the organizers probably 9 months to a year in advance, if
Right.
that late, you know.
Yeah. The longer lead time you can provide, the better. So I hope that this has given you a lot to think about, and you can appreciate my transferring woes. And I hope that you'll all check out our website in May, because that is my goal. I will obviously let everyone know when it's done, but my goal is May 9th, because that is the trigger date for the next bill. So that's my goal. That gives me a little less than a month to
Yep.
complete it. And I think I can do it. So we shall see. Give yourself a long swath of time to do this stuff too. Don't expect to do it in a
For
weekend.
sure.
You will be miserable if you try to do it in a weekend. And frankly, stuff's going to get lost if you do it in a weekend. Like, so you don't want to do it. Just give yourself enough time, give yourself the transfer over, and you'll feel a lot better. It's like
For
moving
sure.
house.
Yes.
It's really what it's like.
Just need a plan and then ample time to execute it.
Exactly. But,
It's good
and
advice.
thank you. And until next time, this has been for Roxanne. Hey, I hit the button right.